Hello again, everybody. It's me, Jason, over here at the Tool Scrounge channel, and I'm just going to get straight into it. This week, I'm going to cover a little bit of stuff that were sent to me from a viewer named Mark. He's reached out to me because I was talking about an empty proto metric set wrench box. It was a cardboard box that they came in and reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have that set. If you're interested, I'll send it to you." He sent it to me, and without the expectation of getting anything in return, but I did send him a bunch of stuff yesterday. So hopefully, Mark, if you're watching, I hope you enjoy the stuff that was in there and find it useful and maybe at least nice to look at some of the stuff. uh, and So the stuff I'm going to cover this week, I got last week, and there's a few non-tool items at the beginning, but it was kind of an interesting story. Like I said, I'll start with the stuff Mark sent, and then get into the how would I put it, in the wild finds. Sorry, I'm all stuffed up. It's really dropping in temperature around here, and my wife and I did a bunch of yard work yesterday, and still all the pollen is murdering me, or whatever defenses stuff in the yard has. But it's an interesting sort of sale that I went to. It was a farm that was in a valley here, and it got flooded last year because it's below a water table. I think that's how I understand it, but near a river, and the barn flooded, so a lot of the stuff was covered with dust and dirt and had been sitting underwater or in water for quite a while. And um, yeah, their farm was basically purchased by FEMA, and so they had to get rid of a lot of stuff. We weren't allowed to go into the house because of mold. I live in Washington, and mold's kind of a big problem here, but anyway, so I'll cover the non-tool stuff after the stuff Mark sent me, and then get into the finds that I found there. So that's about it. I'm a little worried because I did not go to a sale. Well, I did go to one sale this weekend, but I didn't find any tools. I just found some household stuff. So maybe I'll cover those, but unless I find something during the week, which would also be cool. But um, I'm actually saving also for a really spectacular sale coming up this coming Friday, the 26th, I believe, and 7th. So that person, it looks like they may have been a jeweler or a machinist or both, but they have a lot of really eclectic stuff going on there. So I'm excited for that. I did find some toolboxes this time, but they didn't have anything in them. So, but they're just handled toolboxes, so I'll cover them. But anyway, uh, let me flip the camera around and we'll get into the finds. I don't think I'll go into too much detail on like the sockets and stuff like that, other than the brands, just because I'm trying to make these a little bit shorter, keep them under a half hour, but I'm not too successful at that. A lot like right at this very moment, I tend to ramble. Anyway, yeah, so let me flip the camera around and I'll get started. So first off, the main thing is this Proto number 1200M set. It's a metric wrench set. We've got the Flying Lady era. I can't remember what year that was right off the bat, but there's a range. But these things are in absolutely gorgeous shape, and they all look like they've never been used. I actually don't think I own another set this nice. So thanks again, Mark. I really appreciate that. I'm going to enjoy using these, and they're a wonderful addition to my collection and my shop. He did throw in some other extra stuff. Centennial Lufkin tape here. I've seen one of these before. It was very rusty though, so I didn't keep it or buy it. But it's a 6 foot 2 meter 1776 to 1976, which would have made me about 5 years old. Assuming this was manufactured in 1976, that is. So very cool. He sent this C-spanner, 7-inch, I believe it's stainless steel, made in New Zealand. It's a scuba diver's adjustable wrench, has a can opener, a loop, very low profile. And all in all, it's a very nice wrench. My wife has already claimed it for herself. So once this video is done, she's a refrigeration engineer, foreman at a food storage plant. So she likes to have those small tools like that every once in a while. Another thing was this Diacomp sideways screwdriver, which Mark actually made a joke about this being, he was sick of it and this being my problem now, but it's excuse me, a good problem to have for sure. So anyway, it looks like the handle was just off a standard screwdriver, but they decided to put some in sideways. It's kind of a neat little tool, and I'll definitely use that for sure. I like that the tip is hollow ground, so it does have parallel sides on it, which fit into older flathead screws very well, especially on like hand planes. And then we have he included a Stanley retractable metal body 10-8-812 box cutter, and this has already become my daily carry. So I really enjoy this. I like the 1099s. Is that what they're called? And but they're static blades, so I can't really carry them around. Or 199s, sorry, and 299s. So this will be definitely a daily user. But thanks again, and that's it for the stuff Mark sent. So Mark, again, thank you. I really appreciate this. And so let's move on to the non-tool stuff I got from the flooded place. Let's see. First off, I got a bunch of antique bottles. And we got a cobalt blue one that says, I don't know if you can see that, Bromo Seltzer. And it's a beautiful bottle. It was underwater for a while, very dusty, had a lot of silt on it, but I cleaned it. So I just like to have this kind of stuff around the house, you know. What do we got here? We got Ingram's shaving cream, bottle patented number 481953, cobalt blue. I'm hesitant to try and get this lid off. I tried a little bit, but it didn't come off very easily, and I don't want it to break the bottle. So I might try again. I'd probably just leave it alone though. Yeah, pretty nifty. And then we've got, what is this? It says Extract, the RT French company. Rochester, New York, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. French's. Not sure what French's was as far as an extract goes, but it's a really nice embossed bottle, and it had a lid, but when I took it off, it completely crumbled into dust. So, and then I got 2 brown bottles, 1 pint, and 4/5 of a quart. I don't know what that means. But both of them say, what is this? Federal law prohibits, forbids, sale or reuse of this bottle. And they both say that on there. And then there's some interesting manufacturing stamps on the bottom, assuming that those were identifiers and regulated. My assumption is that they probably had some kind of controlled substance or alcohol in them, maybe during the Prohibition, but I don't know. I don't know much about this stuff, and I probably won't look too into it because I have enough stuff that I need to research. Next up, we have this light knob, I'm assuming from a vehicle, to flash all emergency lamps at one time. Turn knob, auto lamp. It's in pretty good shape. I'll probably do a Google Lens search, try and find out what it goes on, but it could go on a number of different things. Anyway, looks pretty new. Little Bakelite knob. Very satisfying click. All the contacts seem to be pretty clean, so it looks like it was never used or installed. And let's see. Next up, we have this. Oh, I can't read that. Scorpion encased in loose outer plastic with some Mexican pesos made into an ashtray. It's all copper, and I don't know, actually, that this might be some kind of silver plate. I'm just not sure. A lot of people think that, if it's these materials are, because they're generally pretty inexpensive, that might not be sterling silver. But in a lot of cases, it actually is, because silver has not always been an expensive material to use, and definitely more plentiful in Mexico. Let's see. Sorry. Let's grab some more stuff here. Real quick. Okay. Next up, I got a little trap, I believe. It's all complete, but it's very rusty. So a little, leg trap. I don't think that trapping animals is very nice, but back in the day, you had to do what you had to do in order to eat. My great-grandparents had told me stories about eating possums and squirrels, and sometimes that's all they had during the Depression. So next up, we have a little lamp. I haven't tested it. Kind of an Art Deco thing. Probably clean up really nice. And let's see. Got a gun magazine. It's a little bit rusty. I don't know what it's from. Don't really seem to be any marks on it. It's odd, has a little loop on the bottom. I've not seen that before, but that doesn't mean that it's, you know, that out of the ordinary. It does look a little older, but you know, looks like it'll probably clean up pretty nice. Without the pistol to put it in, or maybe even a rifle, I don't know. I'll have no way of knowing what that is for. If someone out there knows, go ahead and let me know in the comments. All right, next up we got, let's see, not still on the non-tool stuff. Got some old, looks like 22 shells. They're pretty corroded, but they were just in a box with a bunch of other loose stuff that I picked up. Got an Echo can opener. Accurate profile. Can, what does that say? Can tapper. Back in the day, when you had oil or transmission fluid or whatever, you had to use one of these. You do one side and then put a little air hole on the other side, but I'm sure you could use them for beer or whatever too. It's a cheapy little thing. Next up, we got a little pen light. I haven't tested it yet to see if it works. There were no batteries in it. I always liked these when I was a kid. The contact connector is right there, so to get it to work, but probably works, honestly. No brand on it, but at least that I could find so far. There is an old decal on there, so I don't know if it had the company name, but it's long gone. Anyway, it's kind of a nifty little thing to clean up. A new old stock propane lantern generator. You know, Coleman stuff. It's not so easy to find anymore. Parts for it probably come in handy. I don't have any of those lamps anymore, so I probably will sell it. But next up we have, actually don't know what this is. I think it might be a part to some kind of lamp or something, but I just plain don't know. It's knurled brass. Comes apart. But like I said, I don't really know. The inside of this end is tapped, threaded, so maybe a lamp part. If you know, let me know. Next up, a bunch of skeleton keys and random keys. I think this one might actually be for like a machinist toolbox or something. Corbin Cabinet Lock Division, New Britain, Connecticut. And then some other randoms. I think this one's for winding a clock. This one's broken, so I don't know. You know, just something about the shape, and I don't know. To me, there's like a mystery behind these that I may never know, but I'm a creative kind of guy, so my imagination tends to run a little wild sometimes. And then the last, I think, well, I don't know if it's last, but last non-tool related thing is this old spoon. JB and Sons Hotel. Heavy. I don't know if it's sterling. Doesn't sound like it. It's got a little bit of green on there, but it was one of those things that was underwater, so I actually cleaned some of it off. But that usually indicates that it's made out of copper and then plated. Anyway, all right, so let's get into the tool stuff a little bit. First up, I got 3 cans of American Accents Garden Decorator Colors spray paint. These are new old stock. They have not been used. Made by Rust-Oleum. Leafy green, 7934. Oh, I always pick up old spray paint cans, especially if they're full. I mean, they're so expensive now. Seems like cheapest you can find them is maybe $9 or $10 where they used to be $5. So, I did pick up a partial 1929 Krylon Plum with the labels Borden Inc., Columbus, Ohio, made in the USA. Yeah, there are people out there that collect these, and I have a couple friends that do, and I usually pick them up cheap, so I just get them for them, or if they already have it or don't want it, I'll build up a lot of them and sell them on eBay. Next up, I have for the tin, I have a small engine gum out Pennzoil cleans carburetors. I really like these gum out cans. I have some of the brake cleaner ones and carburetor, that sort of stuff. But the shape and the cap it's got some in it. I'll probably use it up, or if it's not good anymore, I'll empty it out and clean up the can, put it on a shelf to look at. I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my other videos. I actually have, I used to be a welder, and then I got injured on the job. I can still weld, but I can't really fabricate large building structures anymore. I broke my hip and screwed up my back pretty bad getting knocked off of a scaffolding. So I went back to school for graphic design, and the bottom sort of fell out on that because everything's sent overseas now, but I do have an appreciation for the style and effort that it took to create these old graphics. So next up is a set of, actually don't know what these are for. Are they drills of some kind? Do they look like it? Maybe for those little push hand drills. I'm just not 100% sure. They have this weird sort of paddle spade shape to them. If anyone out there knows, be sure to let me know. I guess I can. Yeah, I don't really see any identifying marks on any of them. Someone hand put the sizes in pencil, of course. But container is pretty nice too. Looks like it might be homemade. Can appreciate that. So getting towards the end here, picked up a couple of cages, light bulb cages for shop lights. I do like having these around, but I don't really use these kind of lights. I just pick them up. I'll probably incorporate them into some sculpture, or who knows, maybe they'll end up in somebody else's hands. I got a little toolbox TrueCraft Tool Division socket wrench set. I believe, yeah, made in Japan. It says right there. I thought it was kind of a nifty box. It was empty. And it does say works safely on it, which is what attracted me to it, of course. So, oh, sorry. Yeah, anyway, I was surprised the decal was still left inside and in pretty good shape. It's a little dirty, but no worse for the wear, I guess. I got a 907A spud wrench. I cleaned it up enough to get the stamp on there. It's, I believe, a Williams. That's a W and a diamond. That would be my educated guess. It says hardened XT 1 1/8. A little rusty, but I'll clean that up nice. I got a, what is that? 3/8 socket Phillips head screwdriver. My guess is it's a plumb. I haven't cleaned it up enough yet. Pair of little scissors. These look like maybe beautician scissors or something. Don't know the brand at the moment. I'll clean those up and find out. Let's see, what else? Who's this made by? Oh, it's Channel Lock. Side cutters. Got a little design in the handle. Yeah, nothing special, but straightforward. I like those. I got two identical Blackhawk USA 8-inch adjustable wrenches. Black Hawk. Can't really run that word on together. Anyway, enough of my bad jokes. A set of Wizard hose clamp. What is that? Is that N or M? 1194, maybe H. Made in the USA. Yeah, they're a little rusty, but that should come right off. Anyway, here we go. I like the Wizard stuff. I believe, who are they made by? New Britain? I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh. What does that say? Oh, it's a rigid, adjustable, something. Oh, the Rigid Tool Company, Elmira, Ohio, made in the USA. Another little 8-inch. I don't think I've seen a rigid wrench like this. I mean, not to say that they're not common or anything like that. I just, mostly see threading and dyeing tools or plumbing tools from them. Next up, got a little axe stone. Needs to be cleaned up, but that's for, sharpening your axe and hatchets. I also picked up this. It is a plumb Connie or what's it? Tassie, which they market these more to New Zealand, so they call them Tassies, but it's a 4-pound plum made in the USA. It's big, but it's got a chewed up original Permabond handle, which you can see the trace of red. I'm going to try and fit this around here, but I don't know if you can see that, but it's got the epoxy in there, which indicates it's at least on a newer side. Newer being like 50 years ago. Anyway, got a little chisel mushroomed over. Steel looks pretty good. I don't think there's enough on the end to fix it without some welding, but anyway, clean that up, maybe turn it into something else. Next up, we got a sewing machine motor made by Hamilton Beach. So easy. And these are generally pretty nice to have around. This one's on a pivot stand. A lot of times you could run a lot of different household appliances on these things. I believe this is a speed control. I have not tried it out yet. I did plug it in and it runs, but it needs some cleanup, and that cord is sketchy. So I tend not to leave them plugged in for too long. I have seen similar motors like this for Hamilton Beach mixers and kitchen appliances, but I'll probably end up using it for maybe a small jeweler's lathe or something. But getting towards the end here, got some Black Hawk USA sockets, 3/8 extended, handful of SK 3/8, some mixed bag. What are these? Craftsman, some newer. And a Thorson Allied in Japan. There's 2 of those in there. I actually never thought about Thorson ever having manufactured stuff elsewhere. But then we got Craftsman, a couple of Taiwan made. Use all of this to build out some sets. And then some Napa. Let's see, what do we got? Got a bunch of Napa sockets made by New Britain in the US. And oh, that's another SK. So I've gotten to the point now where I can look into a bin of sockets and kind of tell, or mostly be able to pick out the ones that are made by certain manufacturers based on the grooves that are cut into them or the design of the knurling. Let's see here. Okay. Got this set of random sockets. We got a couple of New Britain, a couple of Thorson Allieds. Let's see. 2 little snap-ons, early snap-ons. A Durachrome, early Durachrome. It's just a mixed bag in a box. But the reason I bought it is that it says $10, but I got it for way less. I think I paid $5. It has a 5249 plumb, 3/8 ratchet, and yeah, just sounds nice. The screws are there. It doesn't say war finish on it, but it's also got an faint owner stamp in there somewhere. It doesn't say war finish, but it looks like same era for sure. Anyway, still my favorite stuff is the Plum Proto PNC family. So I'll move this out of the way here. little bit. And we'll get down to toolboxes. Got this one, and this one was full, but it's definitely got like a theme to it. I got it with that set of sockets that the blonde came with. And this is a old leather worker's toolbox. Got a bunch of leather scraps, some punches, sewing, grommets, hammers, they're rawhide hammers. Another one of these draw cutters, but this one's got, instead of being all metal, has what looks like rosewood scales on it. The blade's in the bottom there somewhere. And the other parts, yeah, it's just X-Acto knives, just full of leather working tools. My daughter is starting to get into leather working. Ooh, is that guy still alive? Yeah. Some kind of, where'd you go? Maybe it fell inside there. Some kind of sleepy fly creature. I'll have to find that. Kill it. Next up, I got another one of these. Have not found any identifying marks yet, but it is olive drab. So, I don't know, like, kind of hoping it might have like a snap-on stamp on it somewhere, but I don't know if they actually sold this style. Has an empty socket box inside. Needs a lot of cleanup. And then a tray that's been modified with some wooden dividers. Little bit rusty on the bottom, but not too bad. I think I'll be able to rust treat that. And then probably just paint the inside of the box black or something. Clean up the outside, shine it up a little bit, maybe clear coat it. Probably won't do a whole lot to it. It's a nice patina once I get all the crud off of it. And last but not least, I got this box, which is a cantilever. So it doesn't open and close very well, but I'll see if I can get it. And another olive drab paint job. Let's see here. Pretty rusty on the inside, but it's new rust. Let me pull back a little. Oh, I guess I can't. The limitations. But I have another one of these with different branding on it. This one is a more solid steel for sure. The gauge on this is pretty thick, and let me catch my breath here. It's not real wobbly or anything, but the thing I like about these is when you pick them up, if they're properly cleaned and lubricated, is that they automatically close. And so it's pretty nice function. I remember when I first saw one, I was thoroughly impressed with the whole mechanical capability of that. But now I do know that Snap-on did make some of these. I'm not sure if it was this exact style, but I'm gonna have to clean it up and see if it's stamped anywhere. But I hope it is. That'd be kind of cool to have one. But all in all, very nice quality, except for the neglect of it. sitting underwater for months. Oh, and then I did forget something. I got this patent van fan. Ooh, let's see. See if I can get that in there. It works. It's great. Very dusty and dirty. Gotta clean it up. But this would be a good thing to have around in the summertime or in the shop for ventilation. So anyway, smaller size than my normal big ones, and yeah, so anyway, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.